Hi there, Susan Bachelder here, and I'm with the other unstoppable mama, Tammy Montgomery. Hey, Tammy.
Hey Susan, how are you today?
Awesome, awesome. So we thought we would record a fresh video and just talk about who are these unstoppable mamas anyway.
Exactly, because it seems like we've been going nonstop ever since you and I met, and we've really gotten to know each other really, really super well, which is amazing because of the fact that we are like miles apart. So,
So in keeping it real, and we tell our clients and our members to tell their story. We're just kind of here to tell you who are we? Who's Susan Batchelder? Who's Tammy Montgomery? And who are we together? So it's really important to always recognize yourself as an individual, as unique, and your story matters. And so we're going to prove that to you and share a bit of who we are, so that just to help you relate and resonate with who we are. So Tammy, do you want to tell them, who is Tammy Montgomery? Where did you come from? What made you decide to be here where you are today, and where are we going?
okay. And it's really kind of like Susan even says, it's really kind of hard to talk about yourself because that's my nature. I've always been a very nurturing guy. I can't even talk today. Nurturing person. So just a little bit about me. I honestly stay-at-home mom. I'm a wife. I just celebrated my 25th wedding anniversary, which is, I guess everybody keeps telling us, is a feat in itself. It has not been easy. I met my hubby when I was 20, and he told me, he says, you don't have to work for someone else your whole life. And it was like, wow, an aha moment. And especially when I was a farmer growing up, and you know, of course, that's an entrepreneur, but I grew up on a farm, and you know, and so I was at a blue collar type environment. I knew that I didn't want to work in a factory my whole life. I just knew that that was not me. That was not the way to go. I seen my uncles, and I used to listen to my uncle every Sunday night say, "Oh my gosh, I can't stand. I don't even want to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday." And I'd always kind of wonder, "Whoa, gosh, if you're working, you should like your job." So in the back of my mind, I thought, you know, there's something else. There's something out there. So that's when I started my trek of entrepreneurship. I just really wanted to help people in this lifetime. And I was told in high school that I should be a counselor because everybody would come to me. I would be like, you know, I was actually voted class clown, for example. And so I've always loved humor. I've always joked around with people. That's just my nature. And so I always wanted to do something to make people happy. I've always been one of those in the family, go to Tammy, she'll cheer you up, go to Tammy, this and that. So I just really wanted to find a niche in this life to be able to reach out and help people. So I've actually done a couple different careers. I've been a mortgage broker and finance consultant. That's my background. I love numbers. Susan will even attest to that. We're always talking about numbers because, you know, hey, it's what makes the world go around. I think the biggest thing, though, that people really want to know about is just really the sincerity. And I do absolutely, like I said, have passion for people. My two kids that we've raised together, I homeschooled and been able to do that because of being self-employed for 29 years. So that's a feat in itself, is to be self-employed for 29 years. Has that been easy? No. When we did have, and there's always changes or what I call cycles in business. So what happened was we had a mortgage crash, and this is kind of how I got into this industry, which it ties right in. We had a market crash in 2008, which then put me and propelled me into the home-based business industry. And then for about 6 years, I worked alone until I met Susan. 2 years ago, we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary yesterday, and we met online in a peculiar situation. I had a gentleman ask me if I wanted to hop on a Google Hangout with her, and I said, well, I don't know her, and I know you. He says, no problem, just come on in, because we're going to have a nighttime, like a midnight hangout. And I'm like, hey, I'm a night owl. Good thing I was a night owl, and I didn't go to sleep at night at 9 o'clock at night. So I got on a midnight hangout with Susan 2 years ago, and we became Facebook friends because Facebook just reminded us yesterday. So that's how that came about. And then her and I last year met each other, and because we're both unstoppable. It doesn't matter what I got into, I would never stop. I don't give up on people. I don't give up on myself, because that way, you know, you can fall down, you can fall off your horse like my grandpa used to tell me all the time, but get back up. Get back up on the pony. You know what? We're here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. Susan's here for a reason. And then we met for a reason. So I believe everything happens for a reason. And when you find someone that you can work with very, very well together, like I have with Susan, she knows me almost like better than I know myself, then that's what works. You know what I'm saying? It's honestly like a sister to me, and my best friend now. So that's pretty much the Reader's Digest version of my life. And where it's going is I want to help as many people as I possibly can. And I see people lining up in front of me, is what I've always said to people. I see them coming right in front of us, you know, in front of Susan and I. So that's what I wanted to say today, Susan. I hope that explains a little bit about me.
Awesome. Absolutely. It sure does. It sure does.
Awesome.
So, about me, where did I come from? How did I get here? And where are we going? Well, I guess I'll start at the point, at one of the pivot points, I guess. I was a critical care registered nurse for 15 years. Absolutely loved my career. It was a childhood dream, I guess, ever since I could talk. I was saying that I was going to be a nurse. So, yeah, I did. I absolutely loved everything about my career, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I had also been a single mom of 2 kids for 4 years at that point. And then a car accident kind of switched all of that. My injury in my neck was significant enough that I could not work in nursing anymore. And then about 6 months after that, I was diagnosed with MS. So there was a few years of very dark days, lots of pain. I didn't leave the house much. I spent all my savings, tapped into some of the equity in my house for medical care and to just maintain some sort of lifestyle for my kids. And then it got to the point I had figured out a clear diagnosis through all that medical care. So I knew where it was, but I was still at the point of the doctors were all telling me this is as good as it gets, which is kind of a yucky position to be in. But anyway, at that point, that's where I was at that. So no solution, no wellness or anything yet. But the money had run out, so I had to find something. I had to find a solution to increase my income so I could keep on funding this medical care and provide for these 2 wonderful kids of mine. So that's what brought me online. And then my first few years just working by myself and kind of, as Tammy said, you know, working by yourself, you can do great. But it's like I was always looking for somebody with that same vision, that same mentality as me. And I was just very passionate about humanizing the digital realm, because coming from a nurse, all of this superficial kind of digital marketing, it just didn't sit right with me. So I you know, it was part of the pivot point where I was deciding, how do I make this more me? How do I use what I already know and be better at this stuff? So it's during that shift, and because I was doing that Tammy and I actually connected. So there's always a reason for everything, right? And so it all started with a conversation, much like kind of like how we're sharing here, you know, what was important to us, where we had been, where we would like to go. And we realized that we have some similarities, but some really different strengths in the industry. Sorry, a bug is...
Is that butterfly again?
No, it was one of those little, I think they're called aphids.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They try to get in your eyes and your nose and your ears.
Jeez.
And it's getting really humid. So, and I see the clouds coming. So I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I think we're gonna have another rainstorm. So that was another pivot point when we decided that 1 + 1 would equal 3. We could offer more to our members, more to the industry, and more to each other if we worked together. And so that's what brings us here. It's been an amazing year and year and a bit. We've accomplished phenomenal stuff. And our vision where we're going is we want to do more of the same, but expand it reach more people and really help more people on purpose, as in live events, small events. Like just this past weekend, I had a mastermind with two of our members. So as much, and Tammy, the week before, Tammy spoke in a vitamin shop with another couple of our members. So separate and together, we're up front and personal, and we want to directly help as many people as we can. When we can do it together, we're going to do it together. But even when we're doing it separately, we're doing it together. So that's kind of what I wanted to say today. Do you think that kind of brought us to the same point?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think that's really, a lot of times people ask me, how did this all come about? Mm-hmm. You have like the best relationship communication. They see that you and I are passionate about not only, working with one when we get together, like in person, that's even like crazier. We just have so much fun, but we also have life-changing experiences. People literally will tell us, wow, when I met you, Tammy, or when I met you, Susan, my life has changed. And my life has changed. And I do have to talk about that a second, Susan, if your rain is holding off.
It's coming like any minute now. I might have to dart in.
Okay. You just dart.
You go.
So if anybody wants to just stick around and listen to this, it took me 10 years, 10, 12, I hate to even admit it, I think probably 15 years. I carried weight, about 100 pounds extra weight. I'm actually at the lowest point I've been in my adulthood, okay, my adult life after 18. When I met my hubby, I'm even less than that now when I met him. So when we started working together, just knowing, I was making great money, but also I wasn't taking care of myself. So Susan says, you know what, you absolutely deserve to do this, Tammy. And that's having someone believe in me. That's what's really a huge bond between her and I. And then with her, I met her down in Texas to make sure that her stem cell implant went okay. I was like, I got to be there. I got to be there for you. So just having that, not only working relationship, business relationship, it's quite a rare thing, actually. And when you have a rare thing like this, you cherish it with your heart. And the communication has to stay open, obviously, with any relationship. And we're expert relationship builders. You go figure. I've had friends for over 30 years. Susan has. And now we've been together for 2 years, and it's just an amazing journey. Well, technically over a year, but working together. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. And in closing, what I'd like to add is exactly what you just said, Tammy. There's some key things that build relationships and that build leaders, and that is what we do. So how we have an effective collaborative partnership, it's built on trust and it's built on respect. And it's those two things that build leaders also. You build leaders by trusting them, by respecting them, showing them, like you show them by leading them, you show them by actions, and believe in them. And that's what we do for each other and for our members. So that's why we're creating so many leaders as well, is because we can truly show people how to believe in themselves. And while they're doing that, we truly believe in them. I believe that the possibilities are truly limitless. And often people will see those words, but we truly believe it from the heart. We believe it, and we live it, and we demonstrate it. So that's what we got.
We do live it. That's for sure. We do live it.
Absolutely.
I truly believe that when you do have, you still okay there on your
the rain is coming. Oh, and I just saw a dolphin.
Paused. But anyway, if it's not paused,